Hello, everybody in YouTube land. It's been about 2 months since I did an update video on the adoption process of Megan. So I wanted to hop on here real quick. I apologize for that. That's uh, really my fault. In my defense, there hasn't really been too much that has happened over the past 2 months, but there has been a lot happen within the past few weeks. So I wanted to give an update on everything that has been going on. On March 18th, nope, March 11th, we got our what's called an I-800 approval. Um, I hope I'm explaining this right, but an I-800 approval is basically an approval by the U.S. government to um, allow Megan to be immigrated into the U.S. for the purposes of an adoption. She's being adopted by a family, and she's been given permission to immigrate into the United States. The I-800 approval was what we were waiting on um, to by U.S. immigration to um, approve, and part of that, I think I talked about this in the last video, but Eli turning 18, he had to go undergo some background checks and such. So that was part of that approval process to get him, classified as an adult, to do those background checks, and that was part of that I-800 approval. The I-800 approval is part of our Article 5. So Article 5, if again, I hope I have this right, but the Article 5 letter is a letter from the United States to Bulgaria that is an approval by the U.S. government um, to adopt a, a citizen of Bulgaria. So it's basically the Macaulay family. They've gone through our background checks, and all they've jumped through all our hoops to gain this approval. We are presenting them to you as in an approved family to adopt one of your citizens. So I think I have that right. That may be just a very broad or maybe incorrect, but I think that's basically the process. So we got our Article 5 letter on March 31st. Um, on April 23rd, almost a month later, we got our court date for Megan. So right now, she's going by her Bulgarian name, her legal Bulgarian name. After her court date, it will be she will be essentially she will legally be our daughter, and she will take on the name Megan Macaulay. So that's an exciting day. It's an exciting hurdle. I don't know if it's a very exciting day. We will not be there for the court date. We do not have to be there for that. So Megan and I think her social worker. I thought that a representative from the NGO that we work with in Bulgaria would be there, but apparently not. I just don't know. But I think at least Megan and her social worker will be there. They will go to Sofia, where the Ministry of Justice is. They will stand before the court, and she will declare that she would like to be adopted by us. So we found that out this past Friday, a week ago. So we were very excited about that. We thought that we were going to be breaking the news to her on her weekly Zoom call with her, but that wasn't the case. She had already been told by somebody on that Friday, basically about the same time we found out. She found out. So anyway, it's no big deal. But we cheered, and we were all very happy that that it is moving forward. Kind of a light at the end of the tunnel. It's a very small light, very dim light, but because we there's still some hurdles that we have to go through. Part of that delay possibly is because the Bulgarian government and the NGOs are off. There's a Orthodox Easter in Bulgaria that they celebrate. I think they get a week off for that, so that's probably part of the delay. But anyway, bottom line is we do have a court date. That's what we've been working towards. After the court date, it will be roughly 3 to 4 weeks that we will find. About 3 weeks after the court hearing, we will find out our travel dates, and usually it's about a week later that we will travel back to Bulgaria to finalize the adoption. So we're looking at mid-June, mid to late June. It is a 2-week trip. It's looking like we will be there in Bulgaria for her 16th birthday, which, good grief, she was supposed to be home May of last year. So it's just for us to think about her turning 16 and this not being done yet has just been, anyway, don't get me started. But we were initially told that there would be trip 1, and then around 4 to 5 months after trip 1 would be trip 2. That's turning into 8 months. So there was that delay because of Eli turning 18. So what was 4 to 5 months turned into 8 months. So there was about a 3-month delay because of that. So anyway, it is finally wrapping up. So we are all very happy for that. We continue to have weekly Zoom calls with Megan. She is becoming more and more happy. It's just really evident in her demeanor and her, the conversations that we have with her. She's still not, she's still relying on Maya, her translator, to translate between Bulgarian and English, which is fine. She's a smart girl, and she'll figure out English very quickly. We are very confident in that. Part of the motivation for her to learn English is that she's a 15-year-old girl, and she does not have a phone. She's one of the last 15-year-old girls on planet Earth not to have a phone. So we are using her learning English as a motivator for her to get a phone. So so we told her in her last in the last call that we had with her, we told her that we might be there for her birthday. Is there anything you want for your birthday? Well, the house supervisor instructed her not to ask for a phone. So not to ask, to put an undue burden on us, basically, I think. But so anyway, we found out later on that she really does want a phone, and that's completely understandable. Most of her friends have phones. Most of the other 15-year-olds on the planet have a phone, in her mind anyway. And so we're using that as a motivator to allow her to speak English. But she's going to be great. She's very smart, and she's very motivated, and so but we're just in a good place right now. She's very happy that it's happening. Before I wrap it up, I've got about a minute and a half left on my 10-minute video, but before I wrap it up, I wanted to tell you a story of something that happened to us about a month ago or so. Just a very, very encouraging story. So in preparations to get Megan here into the States, we knew that she needed a laptop for school. And so I went on Facebook Marketplace to look for a laptop. I found a Chromebook, which is going to be just fine for her. So I contacted the seller about this Chromebook. Started making arrangements to make the purchase and everything. And she, out of the blue, asked me, she said, this may be a dumb question, but do you have a YouTube channel? And I said, yeah, I do have a YouTube. I don't do much with it. I post these adoption videos, and but she's like, she told me that she and her husband had been contemplating adoption, and she ran across my YouTube channel talking about the adoption. So I was just very encouraged by that. We actually met up with them at a local grocery store parking lot to to purchase the Chromebook, and we sat and talked with them for, I don't know, roughly an hour, and it was just a very encouraging conversation that we had with them. Just a super sweet couple. Um, it sounds like they have been through a lot with their family. She told us that she's medically unable to have children, and so that's what caused them to start looking into adoption. And so we've started a dialogue with them about the process of going through the adoption, and hopefully these videos have helped not only them and encourage them to, to start contemplating adoption, but you never know who's going to run across these videos, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And so any of you who are contemplating adoption and just, intimidated by the process and everything, that's completely understandable. Feel free to reach out to me. My wife and I will be more than happy to talk with you about the process and really the overwhelming satisfaction that you get through adopting a child and bringing them into your home. And it's a frustrating process, I think, is what you've probably gotten from these videos, especially when you factor in a worldwide pandemic. That tends to multiply the problems. But and it is a frustrating process, but when you get that child home and you get them into your home, it really is just an amazing feeling. It changes the family dynamic in a good way, and it's just it's just amazing. It's an amazing experience. So feel free to reach out to me personally, send me a message, or however you want to reach me. But I will be more than happy to help you go through the process. But anyway, that meeting this young couple and speaking with them, it was just very encouraging to Sonia and I both, to have them do that, and hopefully we can continue the dialogue and continue to speak about that with them. That's about all I have to say. I know I'm a couple minutes over, but hopefully you stuck with me, and have a great day, and I'll bring updates as we get them. Bye.